Hello everybody. Hi, thank you for watching. My name is David and I'm a life coach. I help people recover and heal and grow from all kinds of different trauma. This is a question and answer video where I'm answering people's questions, and I do this every single week. So if you have a question, go down below, ask me anything you want down into the comment section, and I'll answer it next week, next Monday, okay? Every single Monday. I want to welcome new subscribers. Hello. Thank you for joining us. I'd really appreciate that you do subscribe. Thank you. That really helps me. I'm providing free information that I hope is helping people that have been abused. Sometimes just one little piece of information can really change someone's life. So if you guys think I'm doing something beneficial here, if you want to support me, all you got to do is subscribe to my channel. You can like and dislike and comment, ask questions, things like that. Share this video in different places. You can put it in a playlist, okay? Thank you very, very much. All I ask is that you guys leave your locations. Tell us where you're from. A lot of people, including myself, want to know where you're at. It's really comforting for victims to know that this reaches everywhere. Everywhere. This is a human problem, okay? Not just your problem. So please subscribe, or please tell us your locations. I want to thank 3 people who have donated to this channel in the last couple weeks. A couple people I didn't get to last week, and someone new this week. I don't get donations very often, so I really, really appreciate all 3 of you guys, Brian, Emmy, and Diane. Thank you very much for all of you. It is such a kind gesture. Thank you is too. But when people give you your hard-earned money, it really makes you believe you're doing something right. Helps me keep going. Thank you very much. I appreciate all 3 of you very much. Something I like to do is suggest something to you guys every week, something to help you grow, heal, recover. This time is a book, and it's called Your Brain. I can't say the word, and YouTube doesn't allow swearing anymore, or even if they do, I wouldn't even care that much, but then I get people so offended by it. So if you're offended by swearing and bad, naughty words, please close your ears for a second. I'm not going to swear, but this book is all about swearing. It's called Unf Your Brain by Dr. Faith G. Harper, $9.99 on Amazon. I think this is a tremendously beneficial book for people that have PTSD, people that are suffering from past trauma. I get tons and tons of questions about people and their emotional triggers and what they can do and how they handle this. And the real thing to do with CPTSD or all forms of PTSD is to understand it. Okay, a lot of this is emotional pain, and we have to understand what happened. A lot of things for CPTSD is like an umbrella term for all kinds of different problems that we're having, and it's really, really good to understand what's going on in here, and that's what Dr. Faith does. I'm going to read something he wrote. Our brains have a mind of their own, and that's where this book comes in handy. With humor, patience, and lots of swearing, Dr. Faith shows you the science behind what's going on in your skull and talks you through the process of retraining your brain to respond appropriately to the non-emergencies of everyday life. Whenever dealing with old traumas, or just you want a more measured and chill response to daily situations, this book can help. And that's what post-traumatic stress disorder is. It's a response to trauma, right? And our brains are all different, but we all have human brains, and it's really, really beneficial to understand and know what's going on in there to help yourself. CPTSD, one problem, one facet, just as an example I want to say, is the part of our brain that filters things we do, our reaction, immediate reaction, words that we say and stuff like this. A part of that part of your brain is affected by trauma over prolonged periods, and it doesn't work appropriately, and we might say something we feel ashamed of or regret, or snap at somebody real quick, and it just causes more shame, and it causes us to feel worse, and it causes us to isolate more. Okay, so we really need to learn how to navigate through the world now. Okay, it's the most important thing for us. We got to learn how to do this to get what we need, period. And I think Dr. Faith is onto something here. But if you're insulted by swearing, don't read this, obviously. I'll put a link down below in the description box to Amazon. Thank you. So let's get started, and please, again, everybody, please tell us your locations. Thank you very much. Caroline from Switzerland asks, hello, Caroline. What do you think about flying monkeys? We tend to focus on the narcissist, but in my opinion, flying monkey are even worse. Of course, they are manipulated. However, this is absolutely doesn't justify their actions, creating a smear campaign on behalf of the narcissist against the victim, as this is not their relationship, is not acceptable. Of course, they are manipulated. However, this is absolutely doesn't justify their actions, creating a smear campaign on behalf of the narcissist against the victim, as this is not their relationship, is not acceptable. I think I just read that. I personally had to cut contact with everybody, and I mean a lot of people, unfortunately. This broke my heart. Today, I'm on a healing journey, getting therapy, self-development, and finally having healthy relationship. Thank God. Good for you. I'm glad you did that. And you know, if we're in abusive relationships, then we don't have very good emotional judgment at the time, and when we have toxic friends, and it all starts from toxic family, okay? So we're going to have to do this and purge people out of our lives. Flying monkeys, the term came from Wizard of Oz, right? She was the big bad witch, and she sent her little flying monkeys out to do her dirty work for her. And I got to say, victims of narcissists become perfect flying monkeys, okay? We just do, because we have our morals, we think, right? And we've been hurt, and we kind of black and white think, and people are bad or good until we heal. And we tend to move our principles around why we're being abused, right? We said abuse is wrong, but then we had to move it out of the way when people wanted to abuse us. We said that's okay for now. Right? In some way or another, we moved our principles. We lost a sense of ourself. We lost our moral value a little bit when we're healing from this stuff, and we're traumatized, and we see people as good or bad, and we're always on the look for narcissists and bad people, because we're so mad and angry and upset and scared of all the people that hurt us, and we become really easy flying monkeys. I've had people smearing the hell out of me here, and I've had people that are probably very decent people helping this person smear me and coming over and attacking me and stuff like this. And they're probably decent people, you know, they mean well. They don't realize that they're hurting someone, and they don't know that that's not okay. They say, oh, it's not okay to hurt people, and then they come over and hurt me, right? Which is just kind of like totally counteracting. I mean, you don't know who you are. If you're saying it's bad to hurt people, but then it's okay to hurt people this time because David's a bad person, and you're just being judgmental, and you're going by just what somebody else told you, and you don't really care that much. You're just, you know, I just want to hurt somebody because I'm hurting inside, you know, and I hate that, you know, people are either good or bad, and so it's real quick. Anybody can be bad in just a second, you know. So flying monkeys are just unhealed victims, as they are, and they most of them. And they've lost their principles and morals, and they don't realize that if you're upset that someone's hurt you, then don't hurt people. And it's not ever okay. And you don't get to decide who gets to be hurt and who's not, and who's a good person, who's a bad person, stuff like this, right? So, I mean, I just wanted to read this and just talk a little bit about flying monkeys and help you guys understand that maybe you've been a flying monkey before. I've been a flying monkey before. I had my abuser talk me into making me believe that other people hurt her, right? And then I get all mad at them and be like, how dare you hurt her? And they're like, what are you talking about? And she just made it up, you know? So, and I thought, how could anybody hurt, you know, my abuser? She's amazing. She's so sweet. And I was confused, and I was wrong. And then if I think it's wrong for you to hurt her, then why is it okay for me to hurt you? Right? And it's not. It just stops there, and we get away from people that hurt other people. That simple. We don't listen to people talk bad. Besides, it's trashy, right? Just sitting there talking bad about people. It's uncomfortable. It's immoral, right? We don't judge people and harass people and point fingers. Thank you. Okay, next question is from Nessa, United Kingdom. Hello. I have a pal who is codependent in their relationships. When they are single, they try to be codependent on me, and it doesn't work as I recognize it. I have suggested therapy, but they make excuses, but accept that they are codependent. How can I best deal with it? I'm very happy and stable at present. Hope you are too. Thank you. I am. I'm believe it or not, with all this virus and quarantine. I'm really happy. So you got a friend who's codependent. Well, I mean, besides the label, right? I mean, it's just, you mean you don't like their behaviors and you try to address them and they say, no, I don't want to get therapy or work on it or change. So do you accept it? No, leave them alone. Because it's one thing if they're a little passive aggressive, you know, or something, and you can call them out and they go, oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. And they try and better themselves or something. But I mean, it's all preference. That's just me. But I mean, codependency just gets, I don't like it at all. And it's all a spectrum, right? Codependency. And I've been codependent, little codependency in my relationships, stuff like this. And but as it gets higher in the spectrum, I can't. And you know, we're all working on ourselves. We all have problems, right? I've got problems, and I'll make mistakes till the day I die. And but when you hear these definitive statements that people make, like, oh, that's just me. Oh, I'm just like that. I've always been like that. You know, and they excuse their toxic or unhealthy behavior. That's a measure of your self-worth if you choose to put up with it. I think you're worth better than that, Nessa. I know you do too. So show it. They don't want to change. Just move on. Find a friend that's not so codependent. Next question is from Kat Thomas in Virginia. Hello. I'm a BPD, 30-year-old female, and have been working on myself through DBT for the past few years. I am currently taking care of a narc parent, 50-year-old female, and feel myself slipping back into toxic behaviors. I understand that having her move out is important for my mental health. I'm working on it. Do you have any suggestions, tools until the living situation changes? Well, I mean, I'm a firm believer we don't have to take care of our parents if they're toxic and abuse us. Okay, we don't owe anything to anybody, and that's just my opinion. I respect other people that don't agree with that and think that we're responsible for our parents since the day we're born. I don't believe that, and I don't believe that my parents are responsible for me either after I grow up. So we are all responsible for only ourselves and not other people unless we have children, small children, and we're responsible for them. But you're saying, it sounds like you're in a bad living situation. So, I mean, we don't have to put up with anything from anybody. And the way that we don't is by communicating it. And those are called boundaries. That's what boundaries are, communication, right? And so, and sometimes people respect it, but there's always ways around it when you're healthy. And the healthier you are, there's always better ways and better ways and better ways to deal with it. And when you don't know how, when you're not as healthy or you haven't been taught, you have poor boundaries, there aren't those ways to deal with it. And that's why you're asking me. I get it, and I'm sorry. So how do I currently deal with the situation? Well, first of all, go back to your therapy and use that as a resource, right? Because it does teach you how to do that. We don't react. We don't absorb things, okay? My honest to God opinion, if this person is like especially abusive, then stop worrying so much about what they think or being nice to them all the time. And, you know, I don't want to hurt their feelings. We don't have to say mean words, bad things. Just ignore them. Just leave them alone and stop trying to talk to them and be nice to them all the time. Because that really is a lot of the problems is I'm not saying that it's everybody else's fault around them. I'm just saying we unknowingly put up with a lot of their crap, and it goes on. Like when I was sick, when I was not as healthy, I would argue with people all the time, and it didn't matter how sick they were or how stupid their point was, or I would just sit there and just argue, and I'll argue back and totally, or I'll defend myself and defend myself and defend myself, or and here I would imagine being around you. It sounds like your mother, that you are going to maybe try with her, try to open up, try to talk to her, try to make it nice and pleasant, and ask if she needs things from the store, and say, do you want to go out with me to lunch and stuff. You got to just stop. All of it. Stop. Because the biggest thing I've noticed with borderline women is that it's their mother that's toxic, and maybe also borderline or narcissistic, and they got to be like this close to them no matter what. And it's always just on and off and on and off, and every day and every other day and every other day. So I don't know how you got into this situation right now that you're currently in with I think your mother. But you don't have to do anything. I mean, you walk outside if it's bad enough. Stop trying to talk to her. Stop trying to ask her if she needs things and help her out and take care of her. She's 58 years old. She's perfectly fine and able to take care of herself unless she has some handicap. But these are all things that she needs to take care of anyways. You know, what would she do if you weren't there? Try to think about that. Ask yourself that. What would she do if I wasn't here? And start pretending that you're like not there. And really try to not be there much. Be on the opposite side of the house, right? Wear headphones. Go outside. Don't engage. Put up boundaries. Tell her to stop talking to you. Tell her you don't really care to have conversation with her until this is over. Tell her you don't want to resolve anything, talk about anything, ask me any questions. Just, you know, you got what you need, right? Leave me alone. I don't know how else to tell you. Because it sounds like you're telling me you're stuck in a household with her. And I don't know how that happened. I mean, it seems like maybe you were stuck with her before this happened and you just live with her. I don't know. But it's really just boundaries. And I understand you may not have strong boundaries, which means you don't feel really worthy of these things. This is a great time to practice. Really. Great time, because we gotta, you know, it's about how we feel about ourselves. So in the core problem with no boundaries, that needs to be fixed, okay? But if we haven't had boundaries our whole life and we're now, I bet that you're, oh, like you told me, 30. So 30 years old, for 30 years you haven't had boundaries, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird. It's going to be scary, maybe. Start trying now. That's all I can say. It's never too late. It's never too little. I mean, you just got to keep telling her, stop it, stop it, stop it. This feels like this. Don't ever do that to me ever again. I could help you more if I knew more. Keep asking me more. But, you know, it's basically the gray rock method, right? Where we just act like a rock. What does a rock do? Nothing. Doesn't react, doesn't respond, doesn't laugh, doesn't cry, doesn't ask questions, doesn't want to resolve past issues, doesn't need closure, doesn't need explanations, doesn't need an apology from mom, just nothing. Nothing. Do nothing. Not healthy. It's not a healthy thing to do. You got to get out of there. You got to get out of there. I'm sorry. And good luck with your therapy. Good luck. M. Shot from Texas. Hello. My question is, how and where can I find out if I'm dealing with a narcissist or not? Well, a couple different ways is you can ask them if they're a narcissist. Some will tell you. Well, one is talk to a professional who's experienced in that field, right? I have many clients that they come to me wanting to know that, and I help them find out on their own. There's a method and a way I do that, and it's not about my opinion. But there's a DSM, Diagnostic Statistics Manual, Volume 5 now. Look that up. Look up the criteria that doctors use to diagnose patients, and you can see if you go down this criteria, it should be 9, and you need at least 5 out of the 9 to have the disorder. But it's terribly hard to do that with someone in your own life. It's really, really hard to do that with your ex, a friend, family especially. It's the whole thing of looking inside your own life and introspection and self-examining yourself. It's just difficult to do. I tell people it's like trying to describe a mountain while you're on it, or try to describe a mountain range while you're standing on one of the mountains. It's just impossible. You know, you got to pull back to see the whole picture. You got to be out of it. You can't be in it, meaning your life. It's just so difficult. You've seen the good times and good parts of them. You may not understand some of the criteria, what it actually means. You may, you give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you have cognitive dissonance. You've lied to yourself and said this person's not that bad. This person's great. This person's beautiful inside. I love this person. And we're fooled. We're just fooled. It doesn't work. I'm telling you, the best way is through a professional. And therapists aren't allowed to diagnose people who aren't in front of them and stuff like that. So a lot of them won't talk about that or touch that, you know, but some do. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not, like I said, read the criteria, but it's not easy. Thank you. Or you can come see me. I can help you with that at daviddemars.com if you need help. So I cut off this person's name. I'm sorry. My narc discarded me, met someone, got married within 6 months. I was with him 12 years. My childhood was bad, and I thought when my mom and dad died that all the resentment, the hurt, the pain would go away, and it didn't. I also lost my twin brother just 4 weeks before my mom died. I'm very, very sorry. Emotional pain, trauma. I turned to food, got fat. I've now lost 3.5 stones, 15 years sober in Alcoholics Anonymous. But childhood trauma, pain, I can only seem to feel anger, fed up with it all. I'm sick. All I want to do is to feel happy. I want to feel. Sorry, I've said too much. From Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm sorry for where you're at and how you feel. So, since you've been in Alcoholics Anonymous, you probably know this term, a dry drunk. You ever heard of that? And that refers to somebody who says, I have a disease, and they believe alcoholism is a disease, and a way that I'm going to cure that is not drink anymore. And they go years without drinking, right? And they don't do the groundwork, the footwork, the real core healing, because alcoholism is an addiction, and it's a way to cope with my past feelings, my body's feeling now, to navigate through life now. Coping mechanisms and stuff, right? But if you don't ever learn how to do that, to cope with your stuff and navigate through life, you quit the drinking, now you're back to your problems again, and they're not cured. And we tough it out, and you grin and bear it, and you go for years and not being happy, and you're like, I don't get it, I've been sober forever. So it's about doing the groundwork. There's some real issues in your life that need to be addressed and healed from. You probably haven't done it yet. I'm just guessing that's typically why we feel this way. Kind of the plateau in life, right? Any kind of midlife crisis or nervous breakdown typically comes later in life. That's because we listen to the programming of commercialism, or maybe our parents might be real egotistical, and we think that all that matters is what we do, when it doesn't at all. All that matters is how we feel. But our parents taught us, you got to do. You got school's all that matters. Okay, I'll go to school, and then I'll, there's 4 years after I'm 18, I get out, now I have 4 more years, now maybe 2 more years after that. Maybe I'm out of school by 26, something like that. And then, I got to get married, right? We got to have a family, we got to have children. So I got to go, get married, and then it takes a few years to have a couple kids and start raising them. And that takes 18 years till they're even raised. And then I got to make sure they're in college, and I got to, we got to have a nice house, and we got to have cars, and we got to go on vacations, and we all got to have nice clothes, and we got to put them in the nice schools, and oh my God, and it takes so much hard work, and it's do this and do that and do, and never you have time to stop and think about how I feel, and it's not happy now, but it will be once my kids are out of school, because that's the main goal. That's when I'm happy. Happiness is family and school and a job and career and children and dog and a cat, and that's happiness. That's happiness. That's happiness. I'm almost there. I'm working hard, and I'm going to achieve it, and I can't wait to get there. And then my kids go to school, and here's me and my wife sitting here, and we can hardly talk to each other very much, and the dog and the cat are all died. I buried them, and I got this house now, and I'm sitting here and I'm not happy. But here it is. I'm supposed to be happy, and I'm not happy. And it's critical. It's critical. It's crisis. What do? I don't know. I did everything I was supposed to do, because it doesn't matter what you do. Harsh. Ouch. A lot of men deal with this big time. right? Men are told to not feel, not show your emotions, do. We judge you by your job title, your amount of money, income. I remember, what's a measure of success? Used to be $100,000 a year. Now a measure of success used to be like what? BMWs, yeah, Mercedes, right? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. All these accomplishments takes time, and so by the time you're 45 and you've done most of these things and you realize you're not happy, it's critical. And I'm sorry for where you're at and how you feel right now. Find yourself, all right? Find out what really, really, really is valuable to you. And find out what interests you in your life, and start expressing how you feel. Start expressing what you want. Start expressing who you are, okay? Work with people that know if you don't know what I'm talking about. Hire someone that does, okay? Good luck. Thank you for asking. Anne, I don't know where you're from, Anne. Please, everybody, give us your locations, please. So Anne says or asks, something really bad, can't talk about it on here, happened to me when I was 4.5 years old, and I just feel I'm stuck there. I have never grown up and very childlike in nature and try to play the part of a mature lady, which I am. When the front falls, I can crumble and be that child. I've never grown into the woman I should have been. I'm stuck, don't know how to fix anything, continue to put on the front playing a part. I'm really sorry. I'm really, really sorry. Typically, this is problems with your mother, and you know she's your female role model, and you don't know how to be a female adult, and you're stuck in your childhood pains because you haven't healed from it. Must have been very traumatic, and I'm awfully, awfully sorry. When you realize that you're worth the help that you need, I hope you find it, okay? Because you are worth it, and I know just telling you doesn't mean you are to you inside. But getting the help and paying for it with your hard-earned money will tell yourself you're worth it. Good luck. I'm very sorry. Roberta, please tell us where you are from, guys. Give us your locations, please. Have all narcissistic been abused in their childhood, or can it be a learned behavior? They have behaviors, but it's not a behavior. Narcissistic personality disorder is a personality disorder, and it's severe, okay? And it's very intrusive. It's in all parts of your life. They don't have a handle on it. And I believe they've all been abused to a degree, some horribly, some hardly at all. And a lot of it is neglect. And a lot of that, the neglect I'm talking about, is a type of neglect a lot of you guys don't understand. Narcissists could come from very rich backgrounds and have everything they needed physically. Some can come from poor backgrounds and never got anything they needed physically. It's about inappropriate parenting, and it's about not really having a self and judging them all the time by what they are on the outside and what they look like, and really instilling values in them from the parents. That's very egotistical. They never had their needs met, they don't know how to do it, and they've been forced to be dependent on other people for it. Very similar to borderline, where borderline is more of a real, true reaction to trauma. Keep asking me, thanks. Squeeze one more in here. My borderline, I don't know where you're from. Oh, please help. Mo from New York City. Hi, Mo. I'll try to help. My borderline ex accused me of cheating and verbally said some inappropriate things and broke up with me. I cried and kept reaching out and was ignored for a week and a half. He started talking to me again, told me to prove my love for him. I did exactly what he told me to do. He's still attacking me and ignoring me again. I don't know what to do. The smearing, the accusations, please help. I am so sorry. If you can't make someone stop hurting you, get away from them. Stop trying to control the situation and find yourself and tell yourself that you're worth it. You're obviously at a point now where it's gone so far you've totally lost yourself, and I don't know if you have anybody else left in your life to support you, help you, but you better call on everybody you have in your life, and you definitely need professional help, okay? And I hope you don't get offended by that. Most of us do. All of us could benefit from some kind of professional help. You could too. You need it, okay? And you may not feel worthy of it. You might come up with excuses why you can't. And you're like, oh, I can't really afford it. And they don't really know anything. I've been to a therapist one time. They weren't good. Help yourself. If you can't get somebody to help you, please, 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 please. You're in a pattern. You're in a cycle of I've lost who I am by compromising anything that I thought was valuable to me. Now I don't know who I am, and you're begging for him to tell you, and that's all ego. I know you don't realize it, and it's causing you more shame. So it makes you feel less worthy, less worthy, less worthy. So it keeps making you do this more. Man, all I can tell you is hire help. Please, please. Okay, I got to stop here. I'm about to run out of time. That's the end of part 1. Please, if you guys can help me, is like, dislike, comment-wise, stop in, say hi, where you're from. Subscribe to my channel, please, okay? Put this in a playlist. Share this with somebody else, okay? Thank you all. Love yourself first. I'll see you in part 2 in a minute.